Lesson can be found in Matthew, the 12th chapter, the first through the 14th, no, I'm sorry, the first through the 14th verses. And then the background scriptures can be found in the 12th chapter, the 14th through the 21st verses. For those of you that don't know the Sabbath meaning, it means to rest. And this lesson begins a new focus on justice in the New Testament. It also focuses on how God is both just and merciful. This lesson helps us to better understand the Sabbath laws and justice. Jesus debates with the Pharisees justice and mercy as read as the overriding virtues in any case dealing with the law. In the chapters before us, like chapter 11, Jesus deals with the Sabbath and the controversial understanding of which constitutes work and rest. In the text, we read that the disciples plucked from the wheat fields on the Sabbath as they were going on their journey. The decision to do so could be considered a breaking of Torah's law. The Pharisees noticed the disciples and confronted Jesus. An important notice that in their perspective, it does not reflect all the Pharisees. Jesus' response to them does not go straight to the interpretation of the text. Instead, Jesus references the story of David and his soldiers, in which David ate the holy bread and fed his hungry men.
That's right.
The point shows that the Lord of the Sabbath is the fact, and Jesus is the one who is the ultimate interpreter of the law, and the prophets and not humans.
That's right.
The group seeks to destroy Jesus. The hostility towards Jesus cultivates into a violent theft. The law is meant to enhance people's lives where all are beneficiaries. If one group benefits from something, then it is not about the kingdom of God.
That's right. That's right.
Jesus' whole ministry was about enhancing the people's lives, whether it was hungry disciples who had been tackling or healing, or the sick of men who could finally feel his fingers. Instead, they were focused on the fact that it was violating their interpretation of the law. They missed the goodness of God sitting right there in front of them, while they spent more time being mad and ticked off.
Glory to God.
The text reminds us of today. When Jesus came along, he turned the world upside down. Being a follower of Christ was about relationships and seeing people as people, not violators of the law. Being a follower of Christ meant re-examining your understanding of the law and seeing that was more important than loving the person who lived next door to you. Being a follower of Christ also meant seeking and seeing laws that were meant to give life to all and not just a minority or majority who missed the point about the inclusivity of the Lord.
Take your time.
I'm done. I hope I helped you out the best I could. I really didn't.